Whished Flavours company is an Argentinian subsidiary of an international company that imports chemical raw materials to produce flavor essences. They have very strict supply contracts with customers in the local market and sales forecasts that have to be met. They do not have a significant level of exports as they are importers of raw materials. Whished Flavours company is facing some problems due to new regulations from the Argentinian authority, the Industry and Trade Secretariat, ITS. There are two main points on the agenda. The new importing affidavit, which is a requirement made by Argentinian customs to importers only. It is a permission given by the government and identifies every shipment. The government is now requesting each company to export the same amount that is imported in order to restore the balance of trade of the company.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Fine.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, well, here are the agendas. If you could take one and pass them around, that would be great. Okay, well, thank you all for being here today. Unfortunately, we're meeting today to find ways to work around Moreno's latest resolutions. As you know, last week we sent an internal report, so all of you will be well aware of the situation. Did you receive it?
Yes.
Okay, as you can see, we only have two main items on today's agenda. The first one is the important affidavit, and the second one is our balance of trade. I'd like to ask Florencia to please lead us out and give us a better explanation of the situation.
Thank you, Manuel. Unfortunately, our company is currently facing a terrible situation. During the last 2 years, the Industry and Trade Secretariat, managed by Mr. Moreno, has been implementing different regulations in order to restrict our imports and other imports of Argentinian companies.
Exactly, Florencia. As from February 1st, a new importing regulation has been passed. It is known as importing affidavit. It is a permission given by the government to identify every shipment of every company. Once this permission is authorized, importers are allowed to import the goods. Other point is that it cannot be modified after being issued.
Taking into account that customs are charging extra cost for warehouse.
Okay, but we'll cover that later.
Okay.
In case you didn't know, let me mention that in the last 3 months we have had delays in raw material deliveries because of the repeated rejection from the government of the submitted importing affidavits. On top of that, they haven't given us any clear information as to why they were rejected.
Yes, and because of that, my department has already received twice as many complaints from the main clients.
Well, as you know, our business is all about keeping customers satisfied, so what you said, Romina, makes me worry even more. Considering how rare our economy is, I feel that we cannot afford to lose any clients at all. A decrease in revenue would only mean unhappy shareholders, and believe me, we don't want that.
Of course, I totally agree with you. I am really worried about punctuality index. If we cannot fulfill our customers' demand in due time, it will be very hard to renew our contract with them for the next year.
Excuse me, may I continue? I'd also like to point out that in order to maintain our importing volumes, the ITS has required that we restore the balance of trade of our company. Otherwise, they will restrict our imports even more.
Well, we all know that our raw materials must be imported in order to satisfy our customer requirements. We have no local suppliers.
Well, then we should work hard and focus on finding solutions to both problems. Okay, now let's get started on important affidavit. Romina, how have client delivery delays affected us so far?
As I've said before, our reputation as suppliers has dropped dramatically. It's a fact that availability of finished products is in risk due to delays in the delivery of raw materials to customers.
Florencia, do you have any suggestions on this?
Yes, I strongly suggest placing less quantity of purchase orders but with a higher quantity of the requested product. Thus, we will increase the raw materials in stock and we will be able to meet our customers' demand timely.
I entirely agree with you, Florencia. Increasing our stock will help to avoid shortage.
Yes, that will allow us to avoid problems with the importing affidavit rejections.
but that would translate into higher inventory costs. This will bring even more problems apart from those related to the increase in local costs. Our profit margins have been decreasing over 2 years.
I entirely agree with you, Matthias. As you said, having more stock is going to generate higher cost of storage.
We have to be careful with that.
On the other hand, I consider that we have to maintain the relationship with our customers. And I think that we have to comply with contracts because of the current economic situation. We can afford losing customers to our competition.
I am 100% with you, but not only because of the cost. We must take into account that many of our customers, even the main one, have high quality standards. By this, I mean, if stock remains on the shelf for too long, the products will have reached the expiration date before we can sell them.
Okay, so for what I understand, keeping a higher stock would only solve part of the problem. And I don't want to fix the problem by creating a new one. I'm sure there has to be another way to solve this. Any ideas?
I suggest that we should discuss the current situation with our people at the headquarters, since the inventory level is analyzed globally and it's a company's policy to work just in time. I think that we could increase safety stock of high rotation products. They are the most important ones in our invoicing.
That's a good alternative.
Yes, Romina, that's a great alternative. So you're saying increasing stock only for high rotation products, right?
Exactly.
Okay, Matthias, what do you think about it?
Well, I'd rather choose another option, but it seems that we all have to make an effort in the short term so as to overcome the situation. I will ask my team to look for and assess for possible ways of financing so we can discuss this matter further.
Okay, but remember, if we are going to increase our stock level, we have to reassess our sales projections.
Of course, we need to adjust forecasts so as not to purchase materials that the customer will not buy.
Okay, then I'm gonna have you two, Luis and Romina, meet after we finish here and work on the demand projections. Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay, I'll be expecting a brief report next week.
Okay.
Well, okay, let's move on to the next item on the agenda. We need a new export project to improve our balance of trade.
Well, you see, I have been thinking about a solution to that point since last week after I received the report. I suggest that we should take advantage of our contacts in order to get an export session from a company willing to do that.
That's interesting, Luis. Let's contact small and international companies. What's your opinion?
I was thinking that we can get in touch with small sporting companies. We should look for companies that need and appreciate having financial and corporate support. We can clearly provide that to them, so their brand will increase popularity through our solid position in foreign markets as importers.
Yes, that's a good idea. We have to find a solution to our trade imbalance. Everything suggests that pressure on importing companies is going to increase over time.
I know people in a company in Tierra del Fuego. It is a company that imports home appliance kits and then they obtain the finished products. They have very good tax benefits due to the special customs area. They are currently supplying the local market and exporting to Uruguay. I can contact them if you agree, of course.
Of course I agree. Go ahead and contact them, then let me know what happens.
Okay.
Okay? Remember that we have to move as fast as possible in every possible direction. Okay? I want some more ideas.
Well, Santiago and I have been studying the market and listing 3 possible exporting options. One of them is to export lemon juice. We have contact with a local producer called Lemons for You. It's a viable solution because it's 100% produced in our country and doesn't need foreign raw materials at all.
Yes, I personally deal with the sales manager of that company, as they want to place their extra production in foreign markets. We could act as their agents. In my opinion, it could be an interesting option to export something under our name.
Yes, yes. Well, lemons sounds good to me. You know what I was thinking? If life gives you lemons, you might as well just make lemonade. Although in this case, it's not life giving you lemons, it's the Secretary of Industry.
It's a great idea indeed. Some colleagues have informed me that our competitors are analyzing this market in the United States.
Okay.
The country faced a harvest crisis last year and is still affected. We have detected some potential customers and I think that we could easily develop commercial relationship with them.
Okay.
Another possibility is exporting products derived from citrus, for example, candies or jams. And finally, a third option is exporting aromatic essences for cleaning products, We are currently in contact with people from companies in Portugal and Spain for different reasons. Maybe we should consider this as an option.
Yes. Well, it seems to me like we have all come up with some really good ideas. Do you think?
Yes, of course.
Once we decide the product to be exported, we will need to inform to our team of custom brokers in order to let them analyze the regulations.
Does anyone else have any other comments to make?
Well, I would like to point out another problem regarding exports. The central bank is now requiring to exchange foreign currency within 15 days from shipping date. And considering the latest currency fluctuations, this may cut part of our profits.
Good point. That's a good point.
Santiago, can we meet this week to discuss some regulations?
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's sum up. So, regarding the affidavit issue, we'll increase inventory, but only for high rotation products. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
I have the financial report for the coming week.
Okay, let me write that down. And finally, as for the balance of trade issue, the product that we will export is the first thing that we need to decide. Florencia, after you contact your friends in Tierra del Fuego, send all the information to Luis and Santiago so they can prepare a report and send it to me. I'll be expecting that report.
Okay.
Good. Romina, I want you to do research work to evaluate whether we're ready to go into the US market or not. Okay? Can you have it sent to me by Wednesday?
Of course, no problem.
Good. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything on the agenda. We've covered every point, so declare this meeting closed. Thank you.
Thank you.